The US Justice Department is thinking about breaking up Alphabet, as Google likes to be known now. Should Google be broken up?
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't.
After Donald Trump's complete cognitive collapse last night at a town hall in which he spent the last 40 minutes, time reserved for him to be answering questions, dancing, yes, dancing on stage, for no reason like the crazed individual that he is, Trump decided to follow that up with one of the worst performances that I have ever seen at the Chicago Economic Club today. And not only did he stun the person interviewing him with his several moments of cognitive collapse, a couple of glitches from Donald Trump, but one especially scary monologue and diatribe that Donald Trump went down was so shocking. You could hear the gasps from the audience as everyone sat in silence, just absolutely shocked by Donald Trump's disastrous performance, and we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you want to join this community that we're building on our channel, to hit that subscribe button, it really goes a long way, and it means the world to me. Now let's get into some of the crazy things that Donald Trump was saying, stunning this crowd in this interview right here.
You know, I took 2 cognitive tests, and I aced them both. I think that, frankly, people, regardless, should take, if they're 50 or 40, or I think people should take cognitive tests, not because of the age, but because of something else. Now, here's the problem. They say it's unconstitutional, okay? But I would love to see cognitive tests. I don't think she could pass a cognitive test. I mean, I've watched. I don't think she could pass a cognitive test.
President Trump,
The projection from Donald Trump continues to get worse and worse, saying that Vice President Harris is the one who can't pass a cognitive test. He continues to say that she is a low IQ individual and that she's afraid to debate or do interviews. Is he just talking about himself? Does he not know who he is anymore? It just shows the alternate reality that Donald Trump is living in and the grievance that constantly overcomes him. He is always filled with anger, and this speech and this interview that was supposed to be about the economy. And Donald Trump's economic agenda really just turned into a list of grievances and attacks. He didn't just attack the moderator. He attacked, of course, VP Harris and a whole host of random people and things that we can see him go off on right here.
And you know what they can do? The Mercedes-Benz will start building in the United States. And they have a little bit. But you know what they really are? Assembly, like in South Carolina. But they build everything in Germany, and then they assemble it here. They get away with murder because they say, oh, yes, we're building cars. They don't build cars. They take them out of a box and they assemble them. We could have our child do it.
Can we come?
He's now attacking auto workers. What is the campaign strategy here? Not only is Donald Trump one of the worst candidates, no, he is the worst candidate in the history of the presidency, but he is also a terrible campaigner. His message is all over the place, if he ever even has one. And now he's attacking auto workers, people whose votes he needs to win this election. He is just completely out of control. He can't focus. And that was incredibly clear right here.
The US Justice Department is thinking about breaking up Alphabet, as Google likes to be known now. Should Google be broken up?
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
The question is about Google, President Trump.
Yeah, look, Google's got a lot of power. They're very bad to me, very, very bad to me. I mean, I can speak from that standpoint. They only have bad stories. In other words, if I have 20 good stories and 20 bad stories, and everyone's entitled to that, you'll only see the 20 bad stories. And I called the head of Google the other day and I said, I'm getting a lot of good stories lately, but you don't find them in Google. I think it's a whole rigged deal. I think Google's rigged just like our government is.
The grievance is constant. He was asked if Google was a monopoly and should be broken up. And what is his answer? They're censoring him. They're very mean to him. The doogee is after him. He can't focus. All he ever wants to talk about is himself, as what VP Harris always says. She has focused on the future and fighting for you. Donald Trump only cares about himself. He's not running for president. He's running away from prison and to serve his rich friends. And of course, Vladimir Putin. And that is why he is so angry, always attacking us or attacking our democracy, which is something he defended during this interview. And the crowd, as I said before, felt completely silent because it was just so crazy to hear Donald Trump trying to defend January 6th in this insane clip right here.
We had a term, peacefully and patriotically. These were people. If you think an election is crooked, and I do, 100%, if you think the day it comes when you can't protest, you take a look at the Democrats, they protested 2016, they're still protesting it. Nobody talks about them. But if we protest, we want to have honest elections. You think the last election was honest?
Do you think all the times it went to courts, the courts sided
it didn't
with
go.
the other?
They went to court, and the courts all said, you don't have standing. Nobody had standing. And it's hard, frankly, after an election for a judge, but they all said you don't. Nobody ever had standing. But the facts, if you take a look, I'd show you hundreds of pages of facts. People were angry. People went there. And I'll tell you what, they never show that. The primary scene in Washington was hundreds of thousands, the largest group of people I've ever spoken before, and I've spoken before. And it was love and peace. And some people went to the Capitol. And a lot of strange things happened there. A lot of strange things with people being waved into the Capitol by police, with people screaming, go in, with that never got into trouble. You know, I don't want to mention names, but you know who they are. A lot of strange things happened. But you had a peaceful, very peaceful. I left the morning that I was supposed to leave. I went to Florida. And you had a very peaceful transfer. This was not a...
She is completely out of it. This is a dangerous and deranged individual who has only become more violent and angry in his rhetoric as he tries to fear-monger his way to the presidency. And, of course, we hear more and more of that. But we saw a specific example that should really scare us right here.
Migrants from all over the place. You know, it's not just South America. We have people coming in from the Congo, large numbers from the Congo and Africa. They came in, as of last night, I was speaking to Tom Homan, 180 countries, people came in. They came from prisons and jails. They came from mental institutions and insane asylums, a step above. They came from the terrorists. We had large numbers of terrorists come in. When I was president, we had the strongest border in the history of a country. I built hundreds of miles of wall, and walls work, by the way. Hundreds of miles. We had the best numbers we've ever had.
I don't think it's a coincidence that Donald Trump continues to talk about immigrants from the Congo or Haitian immigrants when he's fear-mongering. I think that's a very specific choice, all things considered, in this election, and it is especially gross coming out of a racist like Donald Trump, and he has gotten so strange with the way that he tries to fear-monger. Take a look at what he said about a woman in the audience right here.
These killers are among the most evil killers. They will look at you down, the beautiful woman there, they'll look at you and they will kill you. These are seriously sick people.
And not only did he just decide to pick out someone from the crowd to say that immigrants would kill them, but he had to first specify saying they're going to kill this beautiful woman. He's just a weirdo. It's just strange at this point. And of course, it is dangerous. Of course, it should concern of us all. Of course, it is deranged, but it's also just weird. Tim Walz put it so perfectly, and we just have to continue to talk about it, as it is strange that they continue to talk about this and like this, and the attacks are always flowing, as we can see right here.
How about this? Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California.
Newsom.
He signed Newsom, I call him.
But do you think...
No, he corrected me. He corrected me. I said, that's the first time I've been corrected.
There are CEOs out here, if they said those sort of things about a rival CEO, they'd be sacked. Do you think it's fine for a president?
But they don't have to survive like me. They don't have to go through what I have to go through. There has never been a president that's been treated like me, so I have to fight my own way.
Well, you made a very good job of...
He signed a bill.
This was supposed to be a conversation about the economy. Somehow, we got to Gavin Newsom. He can't focus for a second. And when he was asked questions about his economic agenda, he completely collapsed. He couldn't talk about the substance, and he couldn't explain why his plans would add trillions more to the debt than VP Harris' plans, which have been praised by business leaders on all sides. He can't explain that. What else he can't explain is his relationship with Vladimir Putin, which he was asked about right here.
No, but these are big things. I have to mention them.
Yeah, you just mentioned Putin, though, and this has been this controversy of the past week. Can you say yes or no whether you have talked to Vladimir Putin since you stopped being president?
Well, I don't comment on that, but I will tell you that if I did, it's a smart thing. If I'm friendly with people, if I have a relationship with people, that's a good thing, not a bad thing, in terms of a country. He's got 2,000 nuclear weapons, and so do we. China has a lot less, but they'll catch us within 5 years.
That sounds very much like... That sounds very much like you did talk to him.
I don't talk about that.
You talk about talking to Netanyahu, you talk about talking to these people.
Russia has...
mentioned, but these are big things. I have to mention them. Yeah, you just mentioned Putin, though. And this has been this controversy that past week. Can you say yes or no whether you have talked to Vladimir Putin since you stopped being president? Well, I don't comment on that, but I will tell you that if I did, it's a smart thing. If I'm friendly with people, if I have a relationship with people, that's a good thing, not a bad thing in terms of a country. He's got 2,000 nuclear weapons, and so do we. China has a lot less, but they'll catch us within 5 years. That sounds have relation much. I don't talk about that. You talk about talking to, you talk people. Russia has, I didn't talk to Putin, but if I did, it would be a really great decision. Sounds like he talked to Putin. Sounds like that should be something that scares us. Sounds like he has alternative intentions with his run for president, because of course he does, and we have to continue to call those out every single day, and we are going to on this show if you want to support that. As always, you can hit that subscribe button, you can leave a like on this video, and if stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I'll see you soon.